Hey everybody, it's Rabbit. I wanted to make a quick testimonial video for Itch.io, for the Kickstarter, and for you. And I realized over the last 41 takes two things. One, boiling it down to 30 to 45 seconds simply won't cut it. And two, this band has had so much more of an impact on me and my life and my happiness than I think I realized until filming this video. Back in 2015, I was scrolling through the Westward concert calendar trying to find something to do for New Year's Eve, and that's when I found Itch.io. Looking back on the photos from that night, I see so many familiar faces, people that I didn't meet immediately, but I met 3 shows later, 5 shows later, and have had such a significant impact on my life. It was through Itch.io that I met Liv and Patrick, and it was through Liv and Patrick, several shows later, that I was introduced to my wife, Lisa. And later, years later, we were introduced to our dog, Alistair. At our wedding, the officiant mentioned Itch.io no fewer than 5 times, and that's not to mention Lisa or my vows. We had a dance party on the floor listening to Gallows Disco. We had a photo opportunity with our VIP Itch.io poster from the Metal Institute party. The community, the ΑΟTH surrounding this living, breathing creature that we call Itch.io is so strong and so valuable to me. And I know that it is to everybody else, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Itch.io. When you ask somebody about their favorite concert experience or their favorite band, they always say, oh, it's so immersive, it's so emotional, it's so cathartic, it's so unique. But those words take on new meaning when you go to an Itch.io show, because you're not just going to an Itch.io show, you are in the Itch.io show. You are in there with them, they're in there with you, people are moving around. I remember at the Gothic Theater for album release party, one of the Chaos crew came over and crawled over me, hung on to the bar, looked over the crowd, and just jumped into the crowd. And I hadn't seen anything like that before. That same show, sitting up in the stands, I feel a thump on my leg, and I thought, who just hit me? What is this? And I didn't see anybody. I looked down, and what was I to find but this drum beater, which I have since kept, and it is my child, and I love it. Needless to say, whether you're sitting in the stands, standing in the back of the show, or you're right up next to the battery, there's something for everybody at an Itch.io show. Maybe it's a wife, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a community, maybe it's an inflatable germ that you just really want to touch. Maybe it's a Larry that you want to feed some lettuce to. Whatever it is, they've got it, and they've got it in spades. And I've been known to say that Itch.io is not a cult.
We like to say Itch.io is not a cult. It's just a little bit of a cult. It's just a little bit. It's a little bit of a cult. It's not a cult though. It's not a cult though. Okay, good.
But as I looked up the definition of a cult, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object, a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister, and a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. I think it might be a cult, guys. But it's a cult that I'm happy to be a part of, and I'm happy to support. I've been a Patreon supporter since the moment that it opened, and I want to contribute to this Kickstarter and anything else moving forward because I think this is important to both myself, my wife, and the community. Our weird little community. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I love you. Ahum.